Hey guys, so I wanted to do this graphing motion worksheet with you. So you're going to click on create a motion graph. And to access this graph and write our answers on it, we're going to need to open with Annotate with Kami. So if you go into click on the link and then click open with, and you do not see Annotate with Kami, this part is for you. You're going to need to go out to, just another tab, and you're going to type in Kami extension for Chrome, and you're going to click on this, and then you will not say remove from Chrome, you're going to say add to Chrome, and then you're just going to say yes, yes, yes to all the questions, and then it will be installed, and you'll have this little K up here in your toolbar. So you probably already have Screencastify from my class. I'm pretty sure you've installed PageMarker. I installed the Bitmoji extension. There's a Google Meet extension. So there's a lot of different extensions, and they all end up here in your web address bar. And then there's probably a way to see other ones if you have more than that. But anyway, so hopefully that works for you. If that's not working for you, please email me, or even better, meet me on Google Meet from 9 to 11 so I can have you project your screen, and then I can see exactly what you're doing, because that helps me help you. Anyway, so you install the extension. You might need to close your tabs and come back in for it to show up. So you might need to close everything down, go back in. And we're working on slide 31. It's almost the end of the school year. And you're going to open with Kami. All right, so you're going to want to use the drawing tool, probably. You might want to use the shape tool. Because you guys have a touch screen, it might be a little easier for you to do drawing and then just touch the screen. Because I don't have a touch screen, I'm going to use shapes. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a line graph. Okay, so this is, we're going to use the table to draw a graph, and then we're going to answer the questions. So we are going to make a distance time graph. And as you know, distance on the y-axis divided by time on the x-axis is going to give us speed. So we can use the graph to find her speed at any given time. So hopefully you've done this before. We're just going to start out by plotting the points. So her time is on the x-axis and distance is on the y-axis. So time is 0, 0. So that's my first dot. And then her time is 5 seconds and 15 meters. So there's no 15, right? This is counting by 10. 0, 10, 20. So halfway between 10 and 20 is going to be 15. So I'm going to make my dot right there. And then at 10 seconds, her distance is 30. So again, even though it's not marked, each line is 10. So 10, 20, 30, going over to 10 and 30. Next, we have 15 seconds and a distance of 45. So here's 40. This is 50. 45 is going to be in between. And 15 on the X. Put a dot there. And oops. So I don't like what I did. And so how do I undo? I'm not sure. There probably is a super obvious undo button, but I'm going to change to select, and then I'm going to select it and hit delete. There probably is an easier way to do that, but okay. So then her last time is at 20 seconds and 60 meters. So 20 and 60. And then if you want to be fancy, you can insert a line and connect your dots. So looking at the graph, what can you determine about Addison's speed as she runs? So every 5 seconds, she's going 15 meters, 15 meters, 15 meters, 15 meters, 15 meters. So you can tell that my graph is not perfect because this should be a straight line. So, oh, I see why. That's because I put this dot in between 0 and 5 and not on 5. See, teachers mess up too. So this dot right here should actually be on this line if I would have graphed it correctly. All right, so looking at the graph, I want to answer the question. So I'm going to make a text box, and then I'm going to type. So Addison is running at a constant speed because the line is straight. And then what is Addison's average speed? So to show her average speed, we're going to do the total distance, 60 meters, divided by the total time, 20 seconds. And that's going to give us the 60 divided by 20 is 3 meters per second. So remember, when we do speed, our unit is always going to be a distance unit and a time unit, and you're going to have like a fraction. Okay, so let's try a second one. Jill is riding her bike. Graph her time and distance. So I'm going to go again. I'm going to use shapes. You can use drawings if you want to. I'm going to put it on circle. And let's be fun and use green this time. And 0 distance, 0 time. I'm going to have a dot right here. 5 seconds. Let's get the 5 right this time. And then 50. So this is 30. This is 150. So 50 is going to be pretty, it's a third of the way down. Ooh, that circle's really big. So I think I have to go back to select. And then I can make it really small. There's probably a better way to do this, you guys, but, you know, learning. And then I want to move it completely over. Oops. Oh, see, you're watching me struggle as we learn how to do things, because this is hard for us too. Okay. What happens if I do drawing? And click right there. Yeah, that works. It's really tiny. I don't know if you can see that. Let's try drawing for this one. Okay, then at 10 seconds, we're at 150 meters. So 150 is halfway between 0 and 30. So you can see I have it here, which means this one's wrong again. All right, I'm not going to delete this because it's already my 3rd time trying to make this video. Instead, I'm just going to let you see that teachers make mistakes. All right, so 5 seconds and 50 meters is going to be a third of the way up this first line, so approximately right there. 10 is 150. 15 seconds is 400 meters. So this would be 450, so 400 is going to be a little bit below that line. And then at 20 seconds, she's at 1,000 meters, which would be a little bit below that line. And then if I want to, again, I can just try to connect the dots with the drawing here. And you can see that it curves upwards. So I'm going to change to a text box so I can type in my answers. So because her graph is curving upwards and getting steeper, I know that Jill's speed is increasing because the graph is curving upwards and getting more slope, which means more steep. And then Jill's average speed. So average speed, you take the total distance divided by the total time. So you can get it by the graph. I can come over here and do, oh, look, 1,000 meters divided by 20 seconds, or I can get it from the data table, which is probably easier if you have the data table in front of you. So data table shows me 1,000 meters is her total distance, divided by 20 seconds is her total time, and 1,000 divided by 20 is going to be 50 meters per second. Okay, but as you can tell, that wasn't her instantaneous speed. That wasn't her speed at any one moment. And really, she doesn't have a constant speed on this graph. It never gets to a point where it's traveling at a steady straight line. Her speed is continuously increasing, so we call that accelerating. She's accelerating the whole time. And so the average speed is going to be her slowest speed and her fastest speed combined. All right, so it's your turn. You're going to try to graph Frank's speed and see if you can make your own graph. Answer these questions. And then I would like you to do questions 4 and 5. And then 6 and 7 are just bonus challenge questions if you want to try them. So if you don't want to learn how to do 6 and 7, you can just kind of ignore those ones because they require a little bit of algebraic manipulation, meaning you have to do some algebra to solve. And so if you want to try it and see if you know how to do it, go for it. And if you don't, that's okay too. So that's it. You made a graph using a data table. Tomorrow we're going to do a lab and collect data in a data table just like this in Google Sheets. And then the next day we're going to learn how to take a data table like this in Google Sheets and make it into a graph like this. So you're going to learn how to graph on the computer. All right, thanks you guys. I hope you have a super awesome day. Please email me or get on Google Meet if you need help.